If you thought Stray Dogs issue number 1 was dark and intriguing, hold on to your seats, because issue number 2 cranks up the tension even higher. This comic series blends the innocence of beloved animated films with the chilling undertones of a psychological thriller, creating a unique experience that keeps you on the edge. In today's video, we're diving into the second issue of Stray Dogs, published by Image Comics and written by Tony Fleece, with art by Trish Forstner and colors by Brad Simpson. Trust me, this one you don't want to miss. But before we get started, don't forget Comic Drops is on X, so follow us over there to continue the comic book discussion. Alright, let's start with the narrative quality of Stray Dogs issue number 2. This comic picks right up where we left off, with Tony Fleece continuing to build on the suspense and mystery established in issue number 1. Sophie's memory, or lack thereof, remains a central narrative device. We find her trying to piece together her fragmented memories, triggered by familiar objects like her owner's red scarf. Rusty, who is skeptical yet curious, retrieves the scarf, hoping to jog Sophie's memory again. And it works. She recalls the chilling truth. Her lady was murdered by the very man who now keeps her captive. This revelation adds a psychological layer to the narrative, as Sophie and the other dogs grapple with the horrifying reality that their master may not be the protector that they thought he was. The scene where Sophie suggests that there might be evidence in the master's private room is a turning point. The other dogs, naive to human malice, believe the room merely contains treats. This highlights their innocent nature and further deepens their characterization. Fleece does an excellent job of capturing the dogs' distinct personalities and quirks, as well as their innate loyalty and trust in humans, which is now being tested. The tension increases when the master takes Aldo for a ride, leaving Sophie and Rusty to investigate this forbidden room. Despite Rusty's warnings about the consequences of disobeying the master, Sophie pushes forward. They find themselves in a room filled with women's clothing, shoes, and jewelry, bizarre and chilling trophies that hint at the master's sinister activities. The atmosphere in this scene is thick with paranoia and fear, especially when Sophie and Rusty discover a stuffed coyote, a macabre symbol of the master's hunting nature, which the dogs misinterpret as his protection over them. After catching Rusty, but not Sophie in the private room, the master kicks Rusty and later leads him to the punishment shed in front of all the other dogs. Next is the climax of this nerve-wracking issue. The master nearly catches Sophie in the closet, while he's practicing his lines for the next encounter with a potential victim. The suspense is palpable as Sophie tries to stay hidden, leading to a shocking flashback that reveals how the master selects his victims at dog parks. This twist adds a new layer of horror, as it becomes clear that each dog in this house was once owned by a woman that the master has murdered. The implications of this are deeply disturbing, turning the narrative into a haunting exploration of captivity and memory. By the end of this issue, we're left with a cliffhanger that suggests all the dogs in the house are trophies of the master's sinister deeds. The narrative continues to surprise with its clever writing, high degree of characterization, and dark undertones, keeping readers engaged and on the edge of their seats. Now let's talk about the visual quality of Stray Dogs issue number 2. Trish Forstner and Brad Simpson are back, bringing their A-game to the art and colors respectively. Forstner's pencil work remains charming and evocative, reminiscent of classic animated films like All Dogs Go to Heaven. The nostalgic art style continues to play a crucial role in creating a contrast between the innocence of the characters and the dark underlying narrative. What really stands out in this issue is Forstner's ability to convey emotion through the dog's expressions. Each dog's face tells a story, whether it's Sophie's wide-eyed fear or Roxanne's shock upon seeing a photo of her former owner. The dogs are drawn with such expressiveness that you can't help but feel their emotions, making the horror they're experiencing all the more impactful. The cinematic quality of the artwork is another highlight. Forstner uses a variety of shot types to frame the action and build tension. The scene with Sophie hiding in the closet is a perfect example. The perspective is low and tight, putting us right there with Sophie, feeling her fear as she tries to remain unseen. The play of light and shadow, with vibrant colors pouring through the slats of the closet doors, creates a striking visual contrast that heightens the suspense. Brad Simpson's color work continues to complement Forstner's pencils beautifully. His use of lush, vibrant colors throughout the comic gives it an almost dreamlike quality, which is disrupted by the sudden, jarring appearance of red, a motif that signals danger or trauma. The red scarf, the leash used for Rusty's punishment, and the ominous glow of the punishment shed. All of these elements are visual clues that something terrible is about to happen or has already happened. This subtle yet effective use of color to foreshadow events adds a layer of depth to the visual storytelling in this comic. Together, Forstner and Simpson create a visual experience that's both charming and unsettling. The art style, with its blend of innocence and horror, is perfectly suited for the story's tone, making Stray Dogs a standout in the current comic book landscape. To wrap up my thoughts on Stray Dogs issue number 2, this comic continues to deliver on all fronts. The narrative is dark, clever, and filled with unexpected twists that keep you hooked from start to finish. The characterization of the dogs is top-notch, each with their own distinct personality and role in the story. The visuals are equally compelling, with a unique art style that enhances the narrative's tone and atmosphere. And the use of color, especially with the red motif, adds another layer of storytelling that is both subtle and powerful. If you haven't started reading Stray Dogs yet, now is the time to jump in. This series is quickly becoming a must-read for fans of horror and psychological thrillers. So what did you think of Stray Dogs issue number 2? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going on X as well. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to Comic Drops for more reviews, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll discuss issue number 3 of Stray Dogs.